Now let us discuss one question, that is, write the structures of major products expected from following reactions. A. Mononitration of 3-methyl phenol, and B. Dinitration of 3-methyl phenol, and C. Mononitration of phenyl ethanoate. Now coming to the first question, that is mononitration of 3-methyl phenol. The structure is given here. Now OH group is a ortho para directing in the sense this is carbon number 1 and 2 and 6 are ortho positions and 4 is para position. Due to Poisson effect of OH group, the electron density in 2 and 6 and 4 positions are increased. So ortho and para positions carry partial negative charges due to resonance. Again, the methyl group can show hyperconjugation effect. There again, the 2, 4 and 6 positions are made partially negative. So both groups favor the positions 2, 4 and 6. But position 2 is omitted from electrophilic substitution because nitro group is a spatial group. Spatial in the sense it requires a somewhat larger area to exist itself. So the entering nitro group will be repelled by these groups. So position 2 is avoided due to steric repulsion. Now the remaining positions are 6 and 4. Now at position 6 we have OH group, carbon and oxygen. Oxygen is smaller in size than carbon, and here oxygen contains only 1 hydrogen whereas carbon possesses 3 hydrogens. So the CH3 group can show greater steric effect than OH group, so that at position 4 the nitro group when enters there is steric interaction between nitro group and the methyl group. So the best position is position 6, but again 4 position is also favored because there is no bulky group at position 5. So 2 isomers, the one where nitro group is at position 6, that is obtained in higher yield because of least steric interaction, steric repulsion, and the other one is the 4 derivative. So these two are the possible derivatives, dinitro derivatives. Now coming to dinitration of 3-methyl phenol. Again position 2 is avoided and 6 and 4 are nitrated. So the only possible dinitro derivative is 4,6 dinitro derivative. But according to a UPSC system of nomenclature, we should start numbering 1 here, 2 here, 3, 4 and 5. So it is 2,4 dinitro 5-methyl phenol, where position 2 now changes to this point. Numbering IUPAC numbering occurs in this manner. Anyway, this point is avoided because of the steric interaction. Whatever be the name of the compound, this point is avoided due to steric interaction between the OH and the CH3 groups. So the remaining ortho and para positions of the OH group, which are also the para and ortho positions of CH3, are being substituted by nitro group. Now phenyl ethanoate is an ester of phenol and ethanoic acid, which is also known as acetic acid. So phenol combining with the CH3COOH and HOH is removed, we get OCOCH3. Now there is a lone pair here and a lone pair here. There are two lone pairs. Now these lone pairs can enter into resonance, giving negative charge in the ortho position and negative charge in the para position and a negative charge in the next ortho position. So that we say the OCOCH3 group, like OH group, is ortho para directing in electrophilic substitution reaction. So the entering nitro group can enter into the ortho position or para position because they are, we say, electron rich. But due to this bulky group, a group having higher size, nitro group will not enter in the ortho position, but it will enter only in the para position, so that we get the para nitro derivative. So nitration gives the para nitro derivative. Now another important reaction, a named reaction of phenol is Kolb's reaction. Now this is the reaction between phenol and carbon dioxide in alkaline medium. Now for most of the electrophilic reactions, substitution reactions of phenol, we use alkaline medium, and phenol is acidic, and in alkaline medium the phenolate ion is the species present. Now phenolate ion can undergo resonance to give canonical structures like this. Similarly, this negative charge means lone pair may be shifted, and this pair of electron over this carbon gives negative charge here and negative charge here. So we can write further resonating structures. You have seen that. Now one speciality between free phenol and this anion, phenoxide ion, is that in free phenol there is charge separation, means separate positive and negative charges are created. And again, the oxygen atom in phenol is having a partial positive charge, and carbon atoms are having partial negative charges at the ortho and para positions. Now this is quite unfavorable because an electronegative atom carrying partial positive charge and a less electronegative atom carrying partial negative charge. So such structures are unstable and their character contribution is less. That is one aspect. Whereas in the case of phenoxide ion, the oxygen atom does not carry any positive charge. So the canonical structures of phenoxide are more stable than the canonical structures of free phenol. And if a structure is more stable, then its character contribution will be high. So higher percentage of character contribution occurs from the part of the canonical structures of phenoxide ion, so that the percentage of partial negative charge in the ortho and para positions will be higher in phenoxide ion than in phenol, only because of the fact that the stability of the canonical structure is comparatively high, their character contribution is high, so the partial charge also in the ortho and para positions is high. So active electrophilic substitution can occur better with the phenoxide ion than with the free phenol. So we use an alkaline medium and we get the sodium salt of phenol. Now carbon dioxide acts as a weak electrophile. It acts as an electrophile, but still it is a weak electrophile. Now here the pi bond moves towards this carbon. So this bond rotates from its position and reaches the position in between these two carbons, and consequently we get a positive charge at this carbon that is neutralized by shift of this electron pair in this direction, and electron pair of oxygen atom is shifting in between oxygen and this carbon, which acquires a positive charge, so that the negative charge of oxygen is nullified, and there is one CH bond. The next stage, the CH bond will be shifting like this. This bond rotates like this and reaches this position. The valency of this carbon will be raised. To maintain the valency, the CO bond will be rotating like this to a position in between O and H. So we get OH bond and double bond here and COO negative. This OH is acidic, so with NaOH it can further react to give O minus Na positive, the salt. Now both the salt-like structures are acidified with HCl, so that NaCl is removed and OH and COH are created. That is the mechanism, simple mechanism of Kolb's reaction. Now, Kolb's reaction may be understood in a different manner. The ortho CH bond breaks. Carbon is more electronegative, so the negative part of this molecule. And here CO bond polarizes or ionizes as C positive and O negative. So O negative will be taking bonding with the H positive to get OH, and this C negative will be getting connected to this C, so we get C double bond O OH and ONA, C double bond O OH or COOH and ONA. With NaOH we get COOH reacting to give the sodium salt, and with HCl we get the free acid. So that is Kolb's reaction. So reaction between phenol and carbon dioxide being acting as a weak electrophile. It is an electrophilic substitution reaction, and the reaction is conducted in alkaline medium to enhance the activity of the ortho and para positions, because phenolate ion is more electrophilic in character at the ortho and para positions due to higher electron density in these regions. Now, why carbon dioxide is called a weak electrophile? One thing, the carbon atom does not possess a positive charge, and another thing is that the carbon oxygen bonds are having triple bond character, again single bond character and double bond character. So the bond order will be in between a triple bond and a single bond. So appreciable bond strength will be here, and ionization of this bond into C positive and O negative should occur but this molecule is having zero dipole moment. So this dipole will be opposing this dipole, and hence the ionization is less favored, so that it is a weak electrophile. Anyway, the reaction proceeds because there is donation of pi electron density from outer position to this carbon. Now another named reaction, it is also important. It's called the Riemer-Tiemann reaction. Now in this reaction, again alkaline medium is used. Phenol is treated with a chloroform at a moderate temperature of 60 degrees Celsius. Then the product on acidification gives an aldehyde called salicyl aldehyde. We have seen salicylic acid earlier during the preparation of aspirin from salicylic acid, and the corresponding aldehyde is called salicyl aldehyde. It is nothing but orthohydroxybenzaldehyde. Now chloroform contains a CH bond and 3 CCl bonds. Now CCl bonds are highly polar because the electronegativity of carbon is 2.5 and that of fluorine is 3.2. So 3 CCl bonds with their dipoles acting in this manner. CH bond is slightly acidic, so that in alkaline medium it may be removed as H positive, so that this bond will be shifting over this carbon, giving it a negative charge, and simultaneously a chlorine is removed as Cl negative, so that the negative charge over carbon is neutralized, and we get a species that is CCl2, and this species, it's a molecule, an unstable molecule called dichlorocarbene. Now there are 2 CCl bonds. We know the valency of carbon is 4, so there should be 2 orbitals. Now when this pair of electron is moving over carbon, means one orbital of carbon will possess a pair of electrons, and when the Cl is removed as Cl negative, the orbital of carbon becomes vacant, so we have a vacant orbital here. Now this species can act as electrophile, so the electrophile in Riemer-Tiemann reaction is dichlorocarbene. We should write a pair of electron here, a lone pair, which is occupying an orbital, and there is a vacant orbital also. Now into this vacant orbital, the pi electron pair moves so as to establish a bond, and during that process CCl2 combines with the benzene nucleus, benzene ring, and since one electron is gained by this orbital, carbon gains a negative charge. Now one HOH splits into H positive and OH negative, and H positive combines with this C negative, and we get CHCl2. Now during removal of this pair of electron towards carbon, we get a positive charge here and this O negative. In the sense, a pair of electron will move in this direction as a bond pair. So we get C double bond O, then CHCl2 with the 2NaOH. This is like an alkyl halide. We neglect this part. So an alkyl halide can react with the sodium hydroxide producing alcohol. So 2 Cl groups are replaced by 2 OH groups. Now more than one OH group on a carbon atom, the system is unstable due to small size of carbon. The OH groups are close enough to repel each other. The lone pairs of oxygen repel each other. So the system, the molecule will try to eliminate one OH group as a molecule of water using NH and OH, and the valency over oxygen, valency over carbon combine to form a bond between carbon and oxygen, double bond O. And there is a CH bond here. In this position there is a CH bond. The CH bond shifts in this direction and this pi bond shifts in this direction. In the sense this pi bond moves in between O and H. This sigma bond moves in between these two carbons. We get OH bond and CHO bond, and this is formed in NaOH medium. Phenol is acidic, so O minus Na positive and CHO. On acidification with HCl, we get OH and CHO, that is salicyl aldehyde. So that is the complete mechanism for the reaction. You need not study its mechanism, but go through this mechanism and understand what is the electrophile in this reaction. Dichlorocarbene, it is unstable. It immediately reacts with the benzene ring system in the ortho position. Now the reaction can be simply denoted as sodium phenate, sodium phenoxide or sodium phenate, combining with the chloroform, one HO of ortho position and one Cl of chloroform removed as HCl, so that CHCl2 directly connects to the benzene ring, and this part acts as an alkyl halide, 2NaOH, removal of 2Cl by 2OH. You get CHOH twice, removal of H2O, because around a small carbon 2 OH groups create higher instability due to electron pair repulsion. So one OH group will be removed from the structure as a molecule of water. Then O minus Na positive CHO, this is aldehyde group, and on addition of HCl, acidification, OH is created, NaCl is removed, so that is formation of salicylaldehyde from Lehmann reaction. And when the named reaction is Kolb reaction, we get the product as salicylic acid. Here we get salicyl aldehyde. Now one reaction, that is a reduction reaction with the zinc dust. When the phenol is distilled with the zinc dust, means boiled with the zinc dust, then the vapors coming out would be that of benzene, where zinc combines with the oxygen atom of the OH group. So oxygen atom is removed from this point, and zinc combines with oxygen to produce zinc oxide, so that this H bonds directly with the benzene ring, and the product is the hydrocarbon benzene. Now oxidation with the chromic acid. Chromic acid is obtained by reaction between Na2Cr2O7 and concentrated sulfuric acid. Na2Cr2O7 is sodium dichromate and concentrated sulfuric acid. That mixture is called chromic acid. Now the product formed is parabenzoquinone, this structure. Now this is a conjugated structure. There is conjugation between this pi bond, this pi bond, this pi bond, and this pi bond. Now the OH bond will be shifting in this direction. The valency of this carbon rises. To maintain the valency, the pi bond here is shifting in this direction between these two carbons. Now again valency of this carbon increases. To maintain the valency, this pi bond will be shifting in this direction. Now to maintain the valency of oxygen, this H negative is supposed to be removed, and here H positive is supposed to be removed. H positive removed and H negative removed will combine to form H2, and the oxidizing agent will supply oxygen. H2 combines with O, producing H2O. This is how the reaction is understood. This is not the actual mechanism of the reaction, but the bond shifts, bond changes will lead to this structure. That is why these arrows are shown here like this. Now here H positive is removed and here H negative is removed. H positive, H negative gives H2, which is oxidized to H2O by nascent oxygen supplied by this system, that is chromic acid. Formic acid may be written as H2CrO4 or better here H2Cr2O7. So that is parabenzoquinone. This is an yellow solid. So much about the reactions. Thank you.